Saludos. I am here today with the one and only Reverend Neyda Albaran. ¿Lo dije bien?
Sí,
Yeah,
perfecto.
Neyda. So, how are you today?
All is good
All
in
is
the
good?
hood,
All is good.
yes.
All right, let's jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
First question. First
Yes.
question that I have for you. Who are you?
Oh my goodness, I am the sum of my parts. I am Neyda. I am Puerto Rican. I am a minister. I'm a mother. And I am someone who has fallen in love with my community and wants to spend myself serving it.
Understood. So, where have you lived before you came to the area here in Delaware?
Okay, so this is a secret that you can't tell anyone. It's hush hush.
All right.
I was actually born in Waukegan, Illinois,
Okay.
which is north of Chicago. So I can do the whole when I was little, I walked in the snow blizzards up a hill and, to my son. I don't, but I could. But my father worked for the federal government, and so we got transferred. We got transferred to Florida. He's Puerto Rican. My mom is Puerto Rican, and his dream was always to be transferred to Puerto Rico. So he did whatever it took. We lived in Florida for a little while, near Miami, Hialeah. If you know about the area, you know. Then we lived in Washington, D.C. for a little bit, came back to Florida, and landed in Puerto Rico, and I was still a kid. And I will say that I was born again there. Not in a religious sense, but I truly felt I was finally home. And since then, it's like I identify as 100% Boricua. My lineage is Puerto Rican. My birthplace is not, but there's a song that says I would be Puerto Rican even if I were born on the moon. And so I have dedicated myself to spreading the culture, to highlighting it in everything I do, and being very proud of my roots. Therefore, people were literally freaking out, is the word I can say, when they heard I was going to move from Puerto Rico. I was older in my career. I was a minister. I've always been either ministering full-time and teaching part-time or vice versa. And my first move was to almost Puerto Rico, Florida, Central Florida, not Orlando, Winter Garden. And then I lived there and served there at a church, a wonderful church there. And then I felt in my heart that it was time for another move. And people already thought I was crazy for leaving Puerto Rico and now to move again. And I received an email from a church here in Delaware. I had never been to Delaware. Knew nothing about it, knew nothing about this town, and went through the interview process. And they're like, we want you to come down so you can see if this is like something you would be willing to live with. And I got up and I went with my son to go visit this little town called Milford, Delaware, and fell in love. Felt the peace in my heart that that's where I should be if they should offer me the position officially, which they did. And I've been there as of Christmas Day, 3 years.
So
That's where I've been.
now I know. Well, I know the answer to this, but you do many things, outreaching to the community. But talk to me about they brought you to Delaware. What was your main mission for the church? And which church is it?
Yes, I serve at Avenue United Methodist Church, which is right in downtown Milford. And so I was there to develop a strategy to bring people to the church, number one, kind of swing open the doors and help them from not knowing much about Christianity or the faith, move towards maturity and understanding and full participation. Our mission was to help people know about God, grow spiritually, and then go and serve the world for Him. And so through that process, we establish classes, we do a lot of outreach in the community, and through that outreach in the community, I got connected and I saw the needs and I saw the opportunities to serve in the community in different ways. So it's all connected.
And you also serve on a board downtown Milford?
So I am the vice president of Downtown Milford Incorporated, and they work to promote Milford and specifically the downtown area, businesses, organizations. We're right now in a strategic planning process, so there's going to be a lot of information coming out as we're looking forward to a new beginning there. One of the beautiful things that has happened, which is also a passion of mine, is the development of a multicultural Milford committee, where we're committing as an organization to try to have all of our community represented at our different events. And so we started with Hispanic Heritage Month. Downtown, we had a fiesta, a big old fiesta. Music, dancing, food, everything. The Hispanic businesses had vendors there. It was amazing. That was in October. So that was kind of like a first event going into this multicultural vision for our downtown. We don't have to, this is not something that's coming from us. The demographic per se of our town is so, it's multicultural. You walk down the streets, you hear Haitian Creole for sure. You hear Spanish for sure, as well as English. So this organization is choosing to move with the community and truly represent it in all that we do. We are looking forward to our next event, which will be our first of the year, which is a celebration of the legacy and the life of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And people have come together. The pastors of the area, the Milford Ministerial Association, the Milford Museum, the Milford Senior Center, along with Downtown Milford, the Milford Haitian Church of the Nazarene are all working together to put this event on for our community. Our hope is that it will become an established tradition in Milford where every Martin Luther King Jr. Day we're going to come together. We're going to celebrate. We're going to talk about our progress in the areas that Martin Luther King Jr. focused his ministry in life and work towards becoming God's beloved community, which he talked about.
And when is this event?
That is January 20th at noon in the Milford Senior Center, and you're invited to come. There will be music. We have a special guest speaker, Reverend Dr. John Moore, and he actually talks about the life of Martin Luther King and reenacts the speeches and the sermons that he gave that are very popular. So it'll be a fun time for everyone in the community. We'll have activities for the kids too, because our children need to learn where we were, what happened in our history, so that it is never repeated again. And so this is all part of our effort to represent everyone. We will be having Black-owned and Black-serving businesses and organizations tabling there. We want to highlight them.
And now, if I wanted more information, how can I go about that?
So you can contact Downtown Milford Incorporated. You can go to our Facebook page, just Downtown Milford Incorporated, and get some information there, or call in, or you could call me as well, as I'm helping organize it, and we'll get you the information. But it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day at noon in the Senior Center at Milford.
So one of the things that really made me smile when I first started noticing you was that I noticed that you have a passion for supporting small businesses. I remember you doing videos at my sister's fort talking about their food and how excited you were, and when they will put out a different menu, you know, and featuring the empanadas and so,
well, I have a passion about food, but no, I am passionate about small businesses, and I owe a lot to my sister's fault, particularly. I'm going to speak very truthfully here. And when I was making the decision whether or not to come to Milford, Delaware, the first thing I searched and, looked for in Google was Hispanic food. Because if I don't have a place to go to eat, I don't know if I can survive. And of course, my sister's fault came up, and I immediately contacted them. I don't know them from a can of paint, but I'm that way. I contacted them, and I'm like, not every community is welcoming to Hispanics. And so I asked them, is it okay? How have you been received? And they assured me, and they really gave me that confidence that I needed to say, yes, I will move there with my child, and I will make as much of a life as I can during the time that God allows me to be there. So they're a big part of my decision. So me promoting them is actually as a result of them blessing me with the confidence to enter the community and be part of it.
Man, that's so good to hear because they are a fabulous, strong pillar in our community.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
And then, there are just so many quaint shops in downtown area of Milford. So our church is located there. I live on the property, and so I get to walk every day to wherever I want to eat, wherever I want to shop. And so how could you not? I mean, it is super picturesque, so it makes good filming spaces right there. And so, yeah, so I've done it. It's not been a conscious thing like, oh, support small businesses wasn't a campaign that I had at that point. It was just, these are places I like. Maybe you'll like them too. I've always been big on social media and letting people know what I'm doing. And so, what I'm doing is supporting small business. I mean,
And naturally, now I see that you are part of La Plaza. Talk to us about
oh my
that.
goodness, yes. So not only are we helping in downtown Milford, but we're in La Plaza Delaware, which has done above and beyond to just build the capacity of Latino entrepreneurs and small businesses and make sure that they're inspired, educated, and empowered to take the next step. And so we just celebrated a graduation that just made my heart leap because for these participants, they are either aspiring entrepreneurs, or established business owners with a history already, or two locales of their business, all coming together. And what people need to understand is that some of the people in these classes come from countries where they did not have a high school graduation, or they didn't even reach high school at all. They had to work to survive. And when they come here, they're able to take this course and graduate. This might be the only
60.
graduation, 60, yes, the only graduation that they have. And so for me, it was like so just heartwarming and inspiring. And some of them, most of them were getting 3 credits from the University of Wilmington. Can we fathom this? It's like people that would have never dreamt of going to college, didn't have any way to get to college, now can say, well, I have at least 3 credits from a university. I don't, they were beaming. You saw they were dressed in their to the nines and just so excited to be there.
It was a large class, 60 graduates.
Yes, it was a half and half thing. Half are from Georgetown, half are from Milford. La Plaza, Delaware had focused on Sussex County from its beginning. It's almost as old as I've been here in Delaware. So it's like doing exponential things. It's great. And so they had focused, and they just recently started, and I'm the program manager for the expansion to Kent County. So we're going in through Milford because Milford is in both counties.
That's right.
And so we're sliding in to Kent County and hopefully helping out a lot of the Latino entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and business owners.
And I've noticed early mornings. Talk to me about your devotions in the mornings on social media. You should
Oh my goodness.
look her up on
Neyda
Facebook.
Albaran. Yes. So I have always, one of my things is number one, I am not one of these ministers that believes that I should be inside the church building all day. I don't remember or recall Jesus being most of the time inside the temple. He was out with the people. And so that explains why I'm always out there. But also, he brought what was maybe an enigma for many and the common person down to earth through little stories we call parables, etc. And for me, one of my joys in life is to be able to take biblical concepts or even scripture itself, which could be daunting. It's like, oh my goodness, the Bible, and just bring it down and let people know it's accessible. And so on the mornings that I can, because my schedule is very busy, I have breakfast with Proverbs in Spanish. And I just read a little portion of the book of Proverbs, and we're reading through the book of Proverbs. I was doing lunch in Proverbs in English, but Spanish is longer to read. There's more words you need to say the same thing. And so I'm catching up, and then I'll continue the lunch. But I'm using a version of the Bible that anyone can understand. The vocabulary is modern, contemporary, easy to understand. And so many people have written, like, I never dared read the Bible, but now I understand it. And it's like, if you seek, you'll find. And I know for a lot of people, it's hard to seek. Where can I find resources to understand this historic, book and written in a language that I don't necessarily understand? And so I'm like, here it is. Let's, just have breakfast with it and enjoy it and savor it together. And I try to break it down in things that we would understand in common language and common situations that happen in my life. And I don't know. I mean, people respond to it, and when I don't do it, they're like, "Why didn't you do it?" And I'm like, "Okay." I just do it because it's part of what makes me happy to see and to help people engage with scripture and with God. And so we've been doing it for a while, and people are responding and they like it. Or so I'm just glad to be able to be kind of in between there. It's like, you can do this, we can do it together.
In 3 or 4 words, why Milford?
I don't know. I have a feeling Milford picked me because that opening at that moment in that church, I'm not even a Methodist minister. I'm a Wesleyan minister. Like, there were people in our headquarters in the Wesleyan church that had to sign an agreement so that I could be I'm on loan to this church. Literally, I feel like property, but I'm on loan. And I feel like it was just everything moving together. All the parts were moving together so that it would be the place where I could come and I could do the things that I'm passionate about and serve this community. So I have a feeling that Milford actually picked me through Avenue United Methodist Church. Of course, I am a person of faith, so I know God is working all things together for good. So there's a plan and there's a purpose for everything. But once I got there, I can't help myself, Jose. I can't. It's like, if I see something that could be done, let's do it. That's just who I am. And so it's just a great place. I mean, it's not a huge city. I'm used to huge cities and I love huge cities. It's not like a super tiny, tiny city. It's in that place, I think, just like I am, even though I'm older, I'm at a place where I'm like ready to just flourish more.
I like that.
And Milford is at that place in history. It's history. It's a time of, I call it, because I'm from an island, like surfing. There's a wave that's coming, and we either ride it or we have to wait till the next wave comes. And so I think Milford is like, that wave is growing and growing and growing. You work in real estate, you should know. Business owners know. People from all over, especially New Jersey, are moving there. It's becoming that link between the North and the South. It's a great stop, but it's also a great place to live and to have your business and make your family. So
I have one more question for you.
love it.
Why do you smile?
Ay, Jose. I smile because I already told you this in one interview. What's the alternative? And is it worth it? There is so much to be grateful for and so much to enjoy in this life that if I waste one moment complaining or frowning, I have wasted my life. Because who knows who can catch that smile, who needed it at that moment. So I smile because I'm full of purpose, life, mission. I have everything I need, and I have everything I am to give to everyone I meet. So I smile.
Gracias, hermanita. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
God bless you.
Till next time.